Hey everyone, Thyworm here, bringing you the first SSF Atlas strategy of the league with the aim to play tons of maps, farm lots of gold, lots of Scarabs and let Kingsmarch rather than map loot be your main source of loot. I'll talk about why this strategy is good, why I enjoy it so much, what Scarabs I take, the Atlas passive tree and much more. Now that my build is up and running and literally blasting maps, the time has come to start experimenting with strategies. Today I am happy to present, after quite some testing, an Atlas tree and strategy that focuses on getting gold without sacrificing fun. With Kingsmarch being a reliable and fun way to retrieve loot, a new possibility arises. Rather than going out in the maps and trying to find all the loot yourself, you can hire workers instead to do the heavy lifting for you. That means that for all of these activities and all of these workers, you need gold, and this league there are very decent ways to get it. Rarity, for example, seems to be a multiplier with diminishing returns, to give an example. But I think it is important to also have fun and do league mechanic your build is good at or that you enjoy doing. Most of my testing went into that. I've tested a few iterations of this strategy, meaning I tried out several things to increase the gold drops and also increase the fun. Once again, Rarity seems to work, so depending on your build, you can run some Rarity on gear or use an aptly named gold flask to increase gold drops. But apart from that, I tried out a few league mechanics that synergize well with RF Chieftain. Mostly, that's lots of monsters in small spaces. First, I tried Beyond. Beyond monsters don't drop gold. They do drop tainted currency, which is useful, but I ultimately decided against it. Then I tried Harbinger, which is decent. These monsters do drop gold, it is a fairly fast mechanic. The extra annulment and exalted orbs are great, and it's just a few points on the Atlas. However, ultimately I decided against it because it was slowing down my maps. I tried Ritual. Again, they drop gold, and Ritual is reworked, so it is quite a bit of fun. I will definitely do another extensive SSF ritual test this league, but for the purpose of blasting maps and making gold, it is not the best. I am aware there are certain strategies like Abyss and the hordes that they drop, where all those hordes spawn gold. I figured that out by accident, but also realized that first, it's a lot of clicking, and second, you need a specific Scarab, which is rare. It's not a strategy you can consistently use in SSF. Finally, I also tested an Atlas version with the Unwavering Vision. This gives you 20 additional Atlas skill points, but doesn't let you use or find Scarabs. I had a great time with this Atlas, and I ran it for an entire day, I think for most of the weekend actually. Those 20 points that you get allowed me to include Beyond and Harbinger on top of the Atlas tree that I'll be showing you later. But ultimately, not finding any Scarabs really hurts your further progression, and I think it hurts it too much. Scarabs are simply too good to give up, that's what I realized. So I decided against this. Let's get into the strategy I ended up using, starting with the prerequisites. The strategy doesn't really have any prerequisites, it is low investment. You just need a build that has good clear speed and makes optimal use out of all these maps. Best of all, you don't need any Scarabs to run this, although there are plenty that synergize with this. The idea of this strategy is that we focus on dropping a lot of gold, quite some Scarabs and significant amounts of resources, meaning ore. We do this by eliminating all league mechanics that take time to complete. Quite some league mechanics don't provide gold to begin with, which may be intentional or it may be a bug. The gold comes from regular and added monsters. It scales with item quantity and it scales with item rarity because of how gold gets created. Apparently, or allegedly, it converts gear into gold, and the rarer the gear is, the more gold you get. That is my understanding of it so far, at least, based on some Captain Lance video. We invest quite significantly in Scarabs and we block most league mechanics, thus making sure we drop a bunch of great Scarabs that we can use again in this strategy. As we're blasting maps and map completion time is only a few minutes, we encounter many resources like ore, the wildwood, sentinel, the nameless seer, the reflective mist, starfall crater and other mechanics that may randomly spawn in maps. Therefore, focusing on running more maps rather than maps with more mechanics in it is a good strategy. Let's go through the league mechanics that I use. The first one is strong boxes, because those are super quick. The enemies they spawn are monsters from the map itself, meaning they drop gold, and the rewards from strong boxes are still very good. We have additional synergy by taking the ambush map device craft for only 4 chaos. I typically can sustain chaos orbs by doing this and sending out shipments. Send food to any port and you get chaos orbs in return, plus many other currencies. The second league mechanic is shrines, because we want to blast maps, we want to be as strong and powerful as possible, so we take shrines. The third league mechanic is Nico with Packed with Energy. I'm using a very common Delve Scarab to enable Nico in the map, making this effectively a free buff. As it turns out, the buffs from the Sulfite mounts still stack, and while they last for only 1 minute, I'm in maps for no more than 3 minutes typically, meaning the buff is up for most of the time. These nodes are still worth it if you are blasting maps, otherwise I would probably skip them. Finally, we're using Searing Exarch because that provides additional chaos orbs which we need to sustain the map device crafts. Searing Exarch has the additional advantage that monsters spawn straight away rather than with a delay. And I think it is simply the superior Eldritch influence in SSF because you get so much valuable currency. It is my main source of Vile orbs too. Let's talk about the Atlas passive tree and the choices that I made. First, I've blocked the majority of league mechanics. Half of them don't drop loot and all of them take too much time. Then strong boxes, twice tempted for the extra box, secret compartments and tamper proof for the best quality and reopenable strong boxes, and then I take Vault of Mysteries to duplicate div cards and backup cache to duplicate currency. I have found that the strong boxes that drop maps are too rare to be worth investing into. We're taking Packed with Energy, and like I explained before, it is still worth it. We're taking the standard Searing Exarch nodes, no surprise there. We're taking all the nodes that increase map explicit modifiers, ramping up these maps to quite crazy values, but also providing lots of loot, making it very worth it all in all. You do need a decent build for this, however. And we take plenty of Scarab nodes, the ones that make you drop rarer versions, and some of the ones that we're pathing to already. This Atlas tree also allows for a very easy respec of only 4 points into Twist of Fate, which allows you to run all the maps that you bricked using this strategy. You're going through a lot of maps and you will be breaking a decent portion. Using Twist of Fate, you can salvage a good number of them, plus it has many other benefits. I've made an entire video on it recently, which you can check out in the description. I decided to not use any Scarabs specifically, although there are plenty that synergize with this strategy. Any ambush Scarab is great because of the strong boxes. Domination Scarabs work for the same reason, there's great synergy with shrines. Any Scarab that puts monsters in the map or increases their pack size is great, because monsters means gold. Any fragment you might have you can put in, as each fragment is 5% map quantity, and gold scales with quantity according to the wiki. And I'm using a Delve Scarab to force Nico to be present in the map so you can get the Packed with Energy node. But again, this strategy is perfectly viable without using any Scarabs at all. Let's talk pros and cons. Pros are up first. The strategy doesn't require Scarabs, but synergizes with many of them. It's fast, fun, and you get tons of gold. I make over 200,000 gold per hour just blasting these maps. That includes going to Kingsmarch to send out more shipments and give Rock stuff to disenchant. It's also good for ore because you hit so many maps. Similarly, this works for encounters that are map-based, like the Starfall Crater, the Nameless Seer, Wildwood and Sentinel. You can easily swap to a Twist of Fate Atlas to run all the bricked maps you may have lying around. There are cons too, however. You may struggle sustaining the Chaos Orbs. In that case, just take the quantity map device craft until you have enough Chaos Orbs again. I'm ending the video with a single pro tip, and that is that I would personally ignore any other league mechanic that randomly spawns, like Jun or Alpha. It just takes you out of the flow and it's not worth it in my opinion. You're losing shrine buffs, sentinel buffs, etc. And I'm skipping them entirely. Although you can definitely make an argument for at least doing the betrayal. I hope you try out this strategy. I'm fairly confident that this is a good one. I've put a lot of time into it and testing it all and whatnot. So yeah, let me know what you think. Also let me know if you have any suggestions, either for this strategy or for another video that you would like me to make. Subscribe and like for more ARPG guides, which so many of you have done lately, so thanks a lot for that. Thanks for watching as well and making it to the end. Love you all, see you soon. Bye bye.